So you're coming up to your 100th episode. Are you doing anything special to celebrate?
To be honest with you, I don't even know. I think the guest is Sharon Winters, who is was the original Catwoman in Batman, the original Batman. I don't know. I have no idea what the tie-in is, but I believe she is an alternative health practitioner, and the name of the show is Holistic Health and Wellness. So that's sort of the theme of it. And but no, other than that, it's just it's something that I think goes along with Liqui-Site in a way.
Yeah.
Even though they're completely separate entities and owned by different companies, it's all part of online media, online marketing, figuring out and seeing what innovative trends and things like that are going on. I mean, we talk about social media and podcasting and mobile apps and things like that. There are so many different venues out there. So it's really nice to have my foot in that door as well and really getting in and doing that. And that show is, every Thursday I do that. So it just keeps me really entrenched in that media.
So when you talk about holistic health and wellness, do you bring any of the philosophy to Liqui-Site Designs? From holistic perspectives, but in a general way, what your mission is.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily, the people that the clients you have, but it's a philosophy that I'm wondering if it incorporates. Your.
Not only, it's an interesting question. I don't know if I ever thought about it before, but we actually do have an overlap because some of our clients are in the health and wellness fields. So, and I think that just the undertone of Liqui-Site is very much a, do-good company. We have a pro bono promo that we do every single year where we do a complete branding and custom website from A to Z for one organization across the U.S. And we have a whole contest and during holiday time. And so we're just finishing up one with this organization in Middle Tennessee called Partners in Wellness. So that website will be launching soon.
Interesting.
But yeah, I think there is sort of a crossover, and I think it's because the reason why I created the other company initially was
the other company
meaning the holistic health company was really sort of to bridge my personal passion for holistic health with my expertise in online marketing and website development. So I absolutely think that there's an undertone in the culture at Liqui-Site, because it is a culture. I mean, it's very sort of anti-corporate America, but we realize that, small businesses, medium-sized businesses, even larger corporations, they need to be using certain tools that are available in order to build this community that I keep talking about, building community around a brand. If you're not engaging
talk a little bit about that community around the brand. We had a chance to talk a little bit about it at dinner, and I'm trying to, think, okay, but maybe you can go into it a little bit more. And talk a little bit about that. I'm sure people would like to know if they have their own company, if they have a brand, if they're looking to promote and market themselves.
Right. So the big thing, a year ago, 2 years ago, however long ago, was I have to have a Twitter account, I have to have a Facebook fan page, I have to have a LinkedIn account, and a blog. What do I do with all these? It's a conversation you and I had. What do I do with all of them? They seem overwhelming.
My words.
How, right. I'm not making up a story. These are your actual words.
Right.
So, what do I do with all these things and how much time do I have to allocate? So the answer used to be, well, you've got to post to Twitter 3 times a day and Facebook, at least once a day, and LinkedIn, you should always be, communicating with people and giving recommendations and all these things. That's all well and good. But here's the real answer.
Please.
The real answer is if you're not using these mediums, these vehicles is what they are, to engage with your audience, which is really your potential clients,
target audience, community,
your
right.
prospective leads, if you're not engaging with them, commenting on a blog back and forth, proposing a question on your Facebook fan page, joining a LinkedIn group and contributing something, not selling your services. And I think that's the biggest mistake that people make. It's not about selling your services, it's about what value can you add. And once people see that you're adding value, they realize that this might be something that I want to pursue further. And you can take that conversation offline at that point. But, the people that are on Twitter and just constantly, here's your 10% off and, use me, here's my website, here's my blog, and there's no interaction. It's like, and this is an analogy that I use often, it's like going into a store and, the sales rep comes over and says, hi, what can I get you today? What size are you? Can I show you these pants in brown and a size 2? No, thank you. When I'm ready, I'll come ask for your help. And that's the whole philosophy. I mean, if you don't want to be bombarded when you walked into a store, why would you want to be bombarded in that same way online, right? So I think if we just use that common sense and apply it to these vehicles, I think we would see a tremendous amount of traction, And I think it's all about authenticity. I think we've lost authenticity,
Yeah, and as coaches, of course, that's one of the things that we always try to get back to is authenticity.
Right.
Actually, Kelly and I had a great conversation at dinner, but also Kelly has done work on my site.
Right.
She, I did engage her to do a lot of my search engine optimization, and we redid some of my homepage, and she set up my my Facebook fan page, and so we were talking about what do we do here? What do I do? And she gave me some really great advice, again, about when I post something on my fan page to then make a comment, ask a question, get engaged with the community that is already part of my fan page.
Right.
LinkedIn, perhaps do the same thing, or join some groups and ask questions on it.
Answer them.
Yeah, or answer them as well. But I think the thing that I mentioned to you, it's overwhelming. It's, when you're trying to do work, when you're trying to be out networking, when you're trying to do marketing, and then you have this whole other animal, which doesn't come so naturally to someone like me. It takes a little time and effort.
Right.
You kind of say, oh my God, it's overwhelming. I'm going to kind of, okay, I'm putting that to the side.
Right. Well, I mean, the things, two things that you mentioned, I just want to touch on quickly. You really, really shouldn't be looking so much at online marketing as a separate entity or a separate animal. They should really be part of a holistic approach, right, to your marketing initiatives. And I don't even know if I like the word marketing. I think it's overused and outdated.
What word would you use? Do you have another word that comes to mind?
I would just say, engaging with prospects.
Okay.
It's not as short and sweet, but it's more relevant.
Okay.
It's something that is definitely going to maximize your ROI, your return on investment, much more so than some of these other things that we're talking about. The other thing is, I understand that it's overwhelming, and what you're saying is no different than what a lot of people are probably saying right now. It seems overwhelming. I've got emails to answer, and I've got meetings to attend, and how do I make time for all these things? Right, and actually do your work.
Right.
So what I would say is develop a plan, right? So if you're going to be online...
I'll tell the audience, because they could probably benefit as well.
Absolutely. So if you're going to be online for, let's say, some people are, kind of beholden to their Blackberries and their laptops, me included. But, if you're going to be online, set aside 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes maybe on your lunch break, and 15 minutes before you leave. So if you could set aside 45 minutes a day, I know that sounds like a lot, but if you break it up in that way, and maybe let's call it 5 minutes. So, sometimes, some days it's going to be a little bit lighter. It doesn't always have to be so strict and so regimented. But if you're online, you can use a service like Ping that I introduced you to.
Yes, she did.
So if you've got, let's say, for instance, let's use you as an example. You've got a Facebook fan page and you've got a LinkedIn account, okay? And there's something relevant that you want to post to both of those accounts. And, you know, it's kind of time consuming to log into Facebook and post something and then log into LinkedIn, do the same thing. So ping.fm is a service that you can use completely free. You create the account and just decide which networks you want to post to, and just by logging into ping.fm and posting something within 140 characters, because you want to take Twitter into account, you post it and it updates all of your networks simultaneously.
Yes, it's pretty incredible.
So that's a time saver. You know, there are a lot of different things out there where the level of overwhelmingness can be taken down a notch. Absolutely.
At this time, why don't you give people your website in case they might want to contact you and have you decipher some of this information?
Sure. Well, again, the company name is Liqui-Site Designs, and we're in Nyack, New York. And the website is www.liquisite.com, and that's LIQUI-SITE.com.
Great. Well, you got that in.
Yeah.
So we have about 3 more minutes. Is there anything you'd like to impart or say? I mean, she's a very, very knowledgeable woman. I really, she's helped me with a lot, and we'll probably do some more stuff next year on my site. It's always about updating and upgrading and making everything relevant, I think. I think relevancy is like, you know, it's on a dime almost, that you've got to do this more than I think you've ever had to do.
Right. Well, that's just the norm now. You know,
I bet.
It's the change. And the people who said Facebook is for my 13-year-old daughter and Twitter is just for celebrities, it's not anymore. I mean, people are really checking businesses out to see if they have these accounts.
Interesting.
And, you know, so the thing is, if you don't have the time, even 5 minutes a day to devote to it, and it's just laying out there static and stagnant, it's actually detrimental. So put the time aside, you know, each day to make these changes and keep the content fresh. That's definitely going to help with your search engine optimization as well.
Right.
So it's definitely about that.
Wow. Oh, anything else? We've got another, before I say thank you, which I don't want to get cut off. We still have another minute or two that you might want to.
Sure. I just want to say to everyone who's listening, and either you have a business or you're thinking about starting a business, there's nothing that you can't do. It's something
easier said than done,
Kelly. No, it's not true.
Sorry.
You have to dive in, you have to jump in, and the net will definitely appear. I live by that mantra.
Yeah. Then there are people that, you know, are a little bit older that didn't grow up with all of this stuff like you did. And it's a lot tougher. But, you know, if you have somebody like Kelly or somebody that you know that can help guide you, it really becomes much easier once you learn it and as you said, dive in and start to see what it's all about.
And it's fun. It's really fun. Once the overwhelming
once the overwhelming
gets... once that's you know, sort of overcome, you know, we all had to learn how to, you know, figure out email at some point.
That's
true.
You
know, email was new at one point.
Yeah.
Cell phones were new at one point. Well, this is the next wave of new.
I know, but all the applications and all of that. And I just want to say thank you so much for being my guest. Very informative. I've really appreciated it.
Absolutely.
And our dinner tonight, I certainly learned something as well.
Good.
So thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
Going into your 8th year.
Yes. Thank you so much,
You're
Terry.
very welcome.
I appreciate it.
Yes, very nice. Thank you.